Okay, let's just get right into it because we're going to definitively answer the single most burning question in the entire AI space right now. If you're a developer, a writer, a researcher, or really just someone trying to claw back a few hours of productivity every day, you've definitely been asking yourself, which tool actually deserves my subscription money this year? So welcome to The Explainer. We are tackling this exact question head-on using the absolute latest benchmarking data. But we aren't stopping there. Once we settle the score, we're actually going to peel back the layers and uncover a critical, honestly pretty alarming flaw lurking inside the research capabilities of both of these systems. It's a massive blind spot that you absolutely need to know about if you rely on AI for any kind of factual information. So let's settle the debate right out of the gate based on the March 2026 data. The completely honest answer? Well, it depends entirely on your workflow. If you're writing code, Claude is just knocking it out of the park right now. I mean, Claude 4.6 hits an incredible 80.8% on the SWE Bench verified coding benchmark, and surveys are showing that a solid 70% of developers prefer it. It also completely dominates in complex reasoning tasks and that nuanced human-sounding writing. On the flip side, ChatGPT is still the absolute king of the ecosystem. It's the Swiss Army knife. If you need image generation, those incredibly fluid voice conversations, a massive plugin library, or that seamless desktop computer integration, ChatGPT is totally your go-to. Ultimately, for most professionals out there, the real answer in 2026 is to actually just use both, leaning on each for what it does best. Which brings us to Section 1, the citation illusion, a hidden danger. Because just as you start feeling super confident picking your tool for deep research, a massive new study from the University of Pennsylvania kind of pulls the rug out from under both of these models. They analyzed over 220,000 URLs generated by top AI agents, and the findings are, well, they're startling. The researchers point out that citation hallucination isn't just some theoretical bug anymore. It has already caused real-world harm. We're talking about attorneys facing legal sanctions for submitting fake case citations, and academics literally having to withdraw published papers. We asked these brilliant models to cite their sources, and it turns out sometimes they are just blatantly fabricating the web addresses. Let's actually put a concrete number on that. Get this, the study found that up to 13.3% of citation URLs generated by top-tier models, specifically Gemini's Deep Research Agent, are entirely hallucinated. That means more than 1 in 10 of the links provided to you as solid proof in a highly detailed research report might be completely made up. Crazy, right? To really wrap our heads around the anatomy of these AI failures, let's get our terms strictly defined, starting with the broadest category the researchers looked at. They call it a non-resolving URL. This is basically just a citation that returns an HTTP error, like your classic 404, or it just fails to connect entirely. Across all the models tested, between 5 and 18% of all links fell into this broken category. But, and this is key, a broken link doesn't always mean the AI was lying to you. The real culprit we want to identify is a true hallucinated link. To figure this out, the researchers ingeniously used the Wayback Machine, the internet's historical archive, to check all these broken links. A hallucinated URL is one where the AI completely fabricated the address out of thin air. There is literally zero historical record of it ever existing. It is pure model imagination, cleverly disguised as a factual web address. On the flip side, you have what's called a stale URL. This is just natural link rot. This is actually a genuine attempt at retrieval by the AI, where the page really did exist at some point in the past, which we can prove with a snapshot in the Wayback Machine, but it's since been taken down or moved. So in this case, the AI basically did its job using an outdated search index. It didn't just maliciously invent a source. And this brilliantly illustrates this sort of quantity versus quality illusion we're all facing right now. Look at the data here. Gemini's Deep Research Agent generates a massive volume of links, over 113 per query. It feels so comprehensive, but it also has the highest hallucination rate at 13.3%. Meanwhile, the simpler, standard search-augmented models give you way fewer links, but they actually hallucinate significantly less. The vital takeaway here? A mountain of citations absolutely does not equal reliable citations. In fact, complex multi-step reasoning might actually amplify the generation of fake URLs because the AI starts blending patterns from real pages into plausible but totally non-existent addresses. All right, moving to Section 2, Domain Danger Zones, where AIs fail most. So where are you most likely to get burned by these fake links? The danger isn't distributed equally at all. High contrast data from the study shows us that fast-changing or highly specialized fields really suffer the most. Ecology actually topped the charts with an 11.4% error rate. Contrast that with fields that have massive, incredibly stable, and mainstream web presences, like business or architecture. They hit a much, much lower 5.4% error rate. Bottom line, if your topic is super niche or constantly evolving, the AI is way more likely to just guess and generate a broken link. But the variance becomes genuinely terrifying when we zoom into healthcare specifically. This isn't just an academic problem anymore. This is a domain where citation errors literally risk propagating into clinical recommendations. Within healthcare, queries related to the general practitioner subfield saw over 20% of their links broken. Neuroscience and microbiology were also highly vulnerable. If you are doing medical research using these agents, verifying that the source material actually exists isn't just a best practice, it is an absolute non-negotiable necessity. Section 3, Fake versus Dead Links. Exploring exactly how these models fail gives us a super fascinating peek under the hood at how they are built. The numbers here tell quite a story. For OpenAI's standard search-augmented models, when they spit out a broken link, 100% of the time it is entirely fabricated. They literally do not output stale links. On the other hand, Claude's models and OpenAI's dedicated deep research agent show a really high fraction of stale links. This points to a huge difference in architecture. The models giving you stale links are likely actually trying to retrieve real web pages, but they're just operating on partially outdated search indices. The models producing purely fake links, they might be relying way too heavily on just predicting what a URL should look like, rather than relying strictly on the hard search results they retrieved.
Okay, so what do we do about it? Section 4, Fixing the Hallucination Problem.
I promised I wouldn't leave you in despair here. To protect your work, researchers released an open-source tool called URL Health. It's surprisingly simple, literally just an 83-line Python tool that AI agents can use to post-verify their own links before they even show them to you. It works through a really straightforward logical pipeline. First, it pings the URL to see if it's live. If it hits an error, it automatically checks the Wayback Machine. Finally, it classifies the link as live, dead, hallucinated, or unknown. It's basically an automated fact-checker for your AI. And what happens when you give these frontier models access to this self-verification tool? Honestly, the results are kind of mind-blowing. When equipped with URL Health, competent models exhibit a massive, massive drop in hallucinated links. In agentic self-correction loops, Gemini dropped its broken links from 6.1% to a near 0.1%. That is a 79 times reduction. GPT 5.1 dropped from 16% down to 0.6%. The key factor here is tool use competence. The model has to actually be smart enough to recognize when the tool flags a fake link and then proactively search for a real replacement, rather than just getting stuck in an endless loop. So, bringing it all together, what is the core takeaway for you today? The AI Showdown in 2026 gives us absolutely incredible power. Go ahead and pick Claude for coding and writing, or grab ChatGPT for its massive ecosystem. Let them do the heavy lifting for you. But always, always remember to add a verification step into your workflow. Whether you spin up an automated tool like URL Health, or you just manually click the citations yourself, you must verify the evidence. Because as we've seen today, even the most capable, brilliant AI assistants on the planet still have incredibly vivid imaginations. So I'll leave you with this. What systems are you going to put in place today to ensure your AI isn't just hallucinating your most important data,